This is Season 3, Episode 25 of In Touch with Terri, a podcast for aesthetic professionals. Today's episode is titled Mindset Over Matter.
So when we talk about mindset, what does that mean? I had a choice. You all have a choice. And we could either live in fear and be stagnant, or pull up our big girl panties, right? And have mental toughness and embrace the difficult situation by honestly taking the time we have never, ever had to really take a close look at ourselves and seize what opportunities could be possible. Pretty much everything that we knew had been uprooted for all of us at the same time. And so, like I said, back to this mindset, I've made the biggest decisions, the scariest decisions of my life. But what has come out of that is the greatest opportunities and challenges that I never would have had those opportunities had this not happened. In a time of crisis, faith is really all we have. Faith in your team, faith in yourself, and how even just having a positive mindset in the darkest of moments can get you so much further than you have ever imagined. Hi, and welcome to In Touch with Terri, our power-packed podcast for the medical aesthetic industry that brings you so many things: expertise, authenticity, more importantly, solutions that have proven to increase your profitability, attract, convert, and retain more patients, and feature some of the top industry experts as guests. Hi, I'm Terri Ross, former Fortune 500 executive, international speaker, and founder and CEO of Terri Ross Consulting. You guys, today is such a super important episode for me. I want to come at you with raw and authentic feelings from what I have had to face this year for 2020 as we wrap up this year, and really focus on something that I have had to work so hard at. And what we're going to be talking today is about mindset and positivity. I read a quote this morning, and I really thought it was important to share it with you. Our true worth is determined by how we proceed with our lives in the most painful of times. It really resonated with me this morning. And so, stay with me, be here. Before I get started, I always want to thank you guys so much, my tribe, my listeners, for following, for commenting, for sharing, for supporting. It means more to me than you'll ever know. This is why I do what I do. Again, we've all faced uncertainty and diversity and so many things this year. So this idea of mindset and positivity, I have had to work really hard on. So let me get started. I kind of want to bring it back to March, right? I want to bring it back to the beginning of when this pandemic all began. And I want to ask you guys a question. What do you remember when we went into lockdown? And what emotions were you feeling? I know for me, I was freaking scared. It was so uncertain, and I didn't even know what to expect. I mean, it was the fear of the unknown, not only for my family, my financial freedom, my business, my team. What were we going to do? And coming off of Q1, this was an incredible year for me to start off with. And I'm sure we all thought 2020, in this new decade, we are going to be, celebrating and having all these new opportunities. And then we're slapped in the face with this horrible pandemic. And, of course, obviously we want everybody's health and happiness and family first and foremost. But who would have thought we would have ever been in this predicament, in this situation? And so I want to share my story a little bit with you, and I hope it resonates, and really want you guys to kind of think back about what this year has been for you. And I hope that there was some light in the rainbow, because that is what I have had to overcome. And so coming off of Q1, I was excited and energized, and I was speaking at so many conferences, especially the Medical Spa Show in January. It was insane. I had just brought on a brand new consultant, Robbie Grayson. I had just launched my sales training program online, and we were growing so rapidly. I came back from all these conferences in Q1. I went to San Diego to train this practice, and I got home. It was like the second week in March, and I freaking got hit. It felt like with a ton of bricks. I was so sick, and like I was bedridden for about 2 weeks. So we know this COVID thing is real, and it kicked my ass. Crazily enough, I tested negative, but this was all in the beginning. And I think that there were so many false negatives happening. But what I felt was sick. How am I going to take care of my family, my team, and I was helpless. I was literally in bed for 2 weeks, just onboarded Robbie, and I thought, what am I going to do? And so trying to keep this mental toughness, this mindset of positivity, I'm going to be honest, it was really, really hard for me. And this was right when COVID was beginning the complete lockdown. For those of you that don't know, I live in Southern California. It's been crazy. Despite living in Manhattan Beach with less than 1%, we follow like the LA County. So it's been more difficult than most states. And now I'm like facing this sickness. I'm worried about my health. And all I could say every day was, what the hell was I going to do? Because what it made me realize was that my speaking engagements were a huge source of me attracting new clients and getting exposure. And that was gone. I had an enormous, year lined up filled with conferences and live trainings, which you guys know I love serving and supporting the aesthetic industry so much and meeting so many amazing people that are my clients that have become my friends. And it was gone. I mean, it was completely taken away from me. So here I am, stuck at home, no conferences, no meetings, no trainings. And as a single mom to a 7-year-old little girl, I was also forced to homeschool. And I know that many of you get exactly what I'm saying. So I was feeling at a complete crossroads. And I know so many of you felt the same exact way. You know, you were forced in a situation where your practices, you could have had your books completely filled. Maybe you just opened up a new practice. Maybe you bought a bunch of new equipment and now, shit, your doors are shut. What are you going to do? Who would have ever thought that this could happen to any one of us? And again, in a decade where we thought this is going to be amazing. So when we talk about mindset, what does that mean? I had a choice. You all have a choice. And we could either live in fear and be stagnant, or pull up our big girl panties, right? And have mental toughness and embrace the difficult situation by honestly taking the time we have never, ever had, or time we just frankly took for granted, to really take a close look at ourselves and seize what opportunities could be possible. So it forced me to, like I said, take a good hard look at myself. And I hope you did the same. You know, what does this mean for your business, for your family, for your lifestyle, your relationships? Pretty much everything that we knew had been uprooted for all of us at the same time. So it was time to make a decision. How are we going to plant our seeds and grow? So ironically, it became so evident because to bring on Robbie, we were growing rapidly. And I had so many clients or people in my Facebook group asking, Terri, what do we do? How do we make up for this lost revenue? What about my team? How do we get more people in the door? And these, you guys, are the same problems that most of you all face. These are true gaps in the business. And you've heard me say it, and with all due respect, as medical providers, I get it. Do you? Like, treat patients, serve them, take care of them. But when it comes down to sales, the fundamentals, the financial health of your practice, and what does that mean? Benchmarks, KPIs. There is a reason that I do what we do, that Terri Ross Consulting exists. And what I want to do is give back. And so it hit me hard. And what did I say to myself? I was like, what can I do? I can make a decision right now and take this opportunity to really recognize the areas of opportunity. And what can I do to give back to reach the masses? So it was at that pivotal point after all this time, when I was so used to traveling 60% of the time, I said, what do I do? Do I follow my gut and pursue this challenge? Or do I play it safe and just sit back and not do anything? But what I did know was these practices needed a solution, something that just frankly did not exist. And I couldn't be everywhere to everybody. So the light bulb went off. We needed to be agile as a company. I needed to pivot. I needed to make hard decisions. And I will tell you guys, I have invested more money this year in my business than I ever thought was possible. And it was a huge leap of faith for me. But what I knew was that we could leverage our expertise and our knowledge in the industry and create something for all of you, for the masses, that I wanted to be able to give back to the community that's given so much back to me, to our company. So knowing that most of these practices all have similar problems, we said, what can we do? So here's the catcher. We have been working day and night around the clock and in development with a solution-based training platform that addresses every single pain point that you guys have. And what do we know that that is, right? Again, how do we get more patients in the door? How do we convert them? How do we answer the right phone calls to get the patients, booking for that appointment? How do we look at our finances and make informed decisions? How do we leverage our software? What equipment do I buy? How much revenue should I be making per room? I mean, I could go on and on and on. And these are things, you guys, that when I would go speak, we would talk about them, but there's never been a tool, a resource, a course, a training program that is all in one place to be able to provide you guys with this information to understand how to do it. And so, like I said, back to this mindset, I've made the biggest decisions, the scariest decisions of my life. But what has come out of that is the greatest opportunities and challenges that I never would have had those opportunities had this not happened. So why did I want to share all of this with you? Because in a time of crisis, faith is really all we have. Faith in your team, faith in yourself. These are the things that have kept us growing and positive during this entire pandemic. Hell, you guys, I even got a fine line tattoo on my inner arm spelling out faith just to remind me of this moment in time and how even just having a positive mindset in the darkest of moments can get you so much further than you have ever imagined. So something that is going to be a game changer in the aesthetic industry, something that we have been working on for the past several months. Truly, my team, day in, day out, this amazing revolutionary platform in the aesthetic space that is going to give you the tools, the resources, the training, the information, all in one place. Not to mention, I've signed some exclusive deals, you guys, with some of the best people in this aesthetic industry to give you information that has never been out there before too. So where I want to leave you at is, as we wrap up 2020, and go into 2021, I know we're still in this place of scarcity and uncertainty, but let me just share with you and ask you to please keep an open mind, be positive, have faith. There is a rainbow in all of this, and some of the most beautiful things can come out of this. We talk about how do we get results? We only get results, you guys, from action. That's it. If we don't take action, we don't get results. So I want to thank you for being with me, for being part of Terri's tribe, for listening. And for those of you that are new, welcome. You guys mean so much to me. I would love to ask if you would please subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you might be listening to so that you never miss an episode and be notified when we release new episodes every week. Also, if you find this information valuable, I would love and ask you guys to share it with your team, members of your team. You can hit the share button below, or you can text it to them. And this way, you guys have this amazing information at your fingertips where you guys can talk as a team and help us and keep delivering this amazing content to you. So please make sure you join us for the next episode of In Touch with Terri. And again, please don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope that the end of this year, you guys can wrap it up with that positive mindset, finish strong. And I hope that you too made some amazing choices. I know they were hard, but that you have recognized that having this time, facing this diversity and these challenges have allowed you to invest, perhaps invest money, invest time, invest in your team, invest in understanding so that you can come out stronger in 2021. Thank you guys. I'll see you at the next episode.
Thanks for listening to In Touch with Terri. Stay tuned for our exciting launch coming soon. If you would like to learn more information about our program, any of our services, or what's to come, please email mitch@terriross.com to set up a call, or visit terrirossconsulting.com. Check us out on Instagram and LinkedIn at Terri Ross Consulting. We'll include links to everything I just mentioned in the episode notes. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to you joining us on the next episode of In Touch with Terri.